The fact that if you look over my head, it says, "Welcome, Ruston." Welcome to Ruston, Lincoln Parish. A press conference just held here in the Ruston Civic Center. Mayor Ronny Walker, you and I go back a little ways. The caption of Ruston Reimagined is this seems to be part and parcel of the fruition of the cultivation, if I may, of great things happening, and no idea is too crazy. Tell us what this idea and when it all started. Welcome to Ruston.
First, Rick, thanks for being here, and thanks for having me on again. This brings back old days, old times. This started back during the pandemic, and Andrew Halbrook was at home and just, he said working, he's probably playing a little bit too on his laptop, and started looking at things that are happening across the country as far as people working from home. Anyway, then he came and talked to me about it. I said, great, let's pull in Ray Watson, who is our Economic Development Director. Let's pull in John Waltz, who is our city planner. All those fit together, for a team to put this together. They've been working on it 6 or 8 months at least. It's just a great program where we partnered with the universities, Louisiana Tech and Grambling, because they have the alumni base that we want to draw from first. That's not to say if you go to LSU or Tulane or wherever, you can't be a part of this. You can, but they're opening up their alumni base to us. They're partnering with us, so we're going to give those graduates the priority. They'll get a few more points, on the scorecard. But we're inviting anyone that lives over 100 miles from here who works from home, remote workers. It's a $10,000 grant over a 4-year period. They get $2,500 when they move. We verify that every year. The question, which is a great question, was asked during the press conference, do you have to live in Ruston? Well, it was designed and it's being paid for by Ruston, so yes, you have to live in Ruston, or one little way around that is if you live in that 3-mile radius outside the city limits where we presently pick up trash. So we pick up garbage, but we also pick up recycling. You can live there, so it's a little outside the city limits also. But we have a 5-person committee that will score everyone that applies. We have 25 grants available this year. I personally hope that next year it's 50 or 100. Right. And in 5 years, I hope it's 300.
One of the things too, and this is an incentive for people to come back home, if you will, back to Ruston via, if you are a Tech alum, Grambling alum, or other alum, but that's the initial source where you're going for. But this is an incentive to bring them on back home and come back to the place, because in the video, by the way, which I'm sure that's going to be online somewhere,
it is.
They had good college happy days. Ruston, and I don't mean happy days in the Potsy kind of way, but we won't go there. But Ruston has an allure, and you know this as mayor, that it is multi-demographics. And the one thing that I'm encouraged by is the younger demographics that have chosen. This is just a little incentive to say, you know what, maybe we want to come back home quicker.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be a great tool for the universities, both Grambling and Tech, because I can see people coming back to where they got their undergraduate degree. They work remotely and they go, you know what, I'd like to get a master's degree now or some other degree, and they do that while they're here. So it's a great opportunity for us, a city and parish, to bring people in who are going to add to the economy of our city, but also the universities to have an opportunity to maybe have them go to school again and get another degree. The universities have been great because we're able to use, or they're going to be putting out the information about this program to their alumni. And that's the reason we're prioritizing those. But I talk all the time. Tomorrow night, as you well know, at the orientation, I talk to the parents and the kids, and I talk about the energy that they bring to the table and to the city when they come here. So I see this the same way. I think you're going to see young families. I think you're going to see folks that enjoy a vibrant downtown. They enjoy things like recycling that nobody else offers hardly, curbside recycling. They enjoy bike trails, which we've got 20 miles of and are adding constantly. They enjoy a good farmer's market. they enjoy the shops that we have and the environment that we have here in Ruston.
You know, a fair question, and the final question for you, Mayor Ronny Walker, as the press conference for Welcome to Ruston, Lincoln Parish. Where's the money coming from? Well, in a nutshell, correct me if I'm wrong, your tax dollars at work.
Exactly.
And this is a recycling, reinvesting. So touch on that.
Well, you know, when I became mayor 7 years ago, I said we needed to run government like a business. So therefore, you got to have a business plan, and that plan was we had to get people from outside to come spend the money here in town. We couldn't continue to hit the people who live here over and over again. So if we could get people to come to town, spend their money in restaurants, hotels, shops, then all of a sudden we have people outside the city paying for many of the projects that we have. And so the two big projects that we focused on with that was getting a shopping center to come here, just because we felt like if we had more shops, we would become the hub of North Louisiana, which I believe we have now. And also, if we built a sports complex, not only would it provide better quality facilities for our kids and adults, by the way, Monday through Thursday, and then on the weekends it would be travel team tournaments. And now we're seeing it. After the pandemic, we finally got the sports complex open fully. Now we're seeing 3,000 to 5,000 visitors every weekend, and we've seen our sales tax over the last 3 months. Each month has been over a $500,000 increase over 19, not just 20. So those dollars are going toward it. Also, we're looking at some grants that we hope we can fund it with too. But more importantly, I hope to see the day, and I hope it's real soon, that local businesses will say, hey, you know, we're getting some dollars from this. Let's put some dollars back into it. I hope that Louisiana Economic Development, LED, will realize what's happening with this and put some dollars into it. I mean, and I forgot to mention this today, but I had one of our local law firms send me a text right before the meeting and saying, hey, if you have any of those who want to buy a house, we will give them a discount on closing. So I think you're going to see that kind of stuff happen.
Sure, creative ideas to work together for good on here. And to your point, too, just for the sake of those who may watch this later, this happens to be July 13th. Correct me if I'm wrong, over 100 baseball teams in town all week at the Ruston Sports Complex. I see the uniforms all over downtown, and that's what people are in town spending, eating, buying gas, shopping, and...
Let me correct you just a little bit on that. 100 teams over last weekend and this week.
Okay.
There's about 66, I think, that started playing yesterday and will finish Saturday. So all week long, there's 66 teams. Plus, I think there's 60 or some number like that, Division I coaches that are, you know, using this as at a time to be able to see players. So, you know, the sports complex, and by the way, phase 2 of the sports complex will be finished in October.
Right.
It's already booked through the end of the year and through almost all of next year. So all of these business plans, if you will, that we put in place 7 years ago are finally a year late because of COVID, but now are showing what we've all said would happen. And it's really encouraging, and I want to thank the people of Ruston, because none of that would have taken place. And I tell people this all the time when I'm out of town, and people say, what in the world is going on in Ruston? How are y'all able to do all of this? None of this would have taken place if the City of Ruston had not seen the vision. First of all, the City Council seeing the vision that we put forth, then giving me permission to take it to the people for a sales tax vote, where we have spent $150 million approximately on infrastructure over the last 7 years. If that had not passed, we would have spent less than $10 million. So none of this would be taking place. And so it's the people of Ruston. I say it all the time. The people of Ruston understand how to grow a city. They understand why it's important to have good facilities. They understand how important it is to run things like a business.
Mayor Ronny Walker, we're here to help. Thank you so much for all that you do, and keep up the good work, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it so very much.
You're most welcome. Welcome to Ruston, Lincoln Parish. Details are going to be on the website for the City of Ruston.